Chris Benoit. Now, I'm sure we have heard this name thousands of times as wrestling fans. This is a name that was once symbolized with intensity, dedication, and hard work ethics. The ultimate underdog in the wrestling world, now synonymous with one of the darkest moments in wrestling history. But my question today is, was Chris Benoit always evil? Now, we can look back and we can acknowledge and respect everything he has done in the wrestling world and the wrestling business. But you cannot overlook the fact that what he's done, outside of professional wrestling. The tragedy, we all know. I'm not about to go over it because we've all watched a bunch of documentaries about this entire situation. My question is, was Benoit always evil? There has been rumors, and not only just rumors, actual stories behind Benoit in the WWE and Benoit, how he acted in the locker room. And I'm sure Benoit was one of the most respected guys in the locker room. He was around, Benoit is a legend in the industry, in the sport. And we can just keep it right there, I can respect the guy's work and what he's done in the ring, not out the ring. Miz shared a story, and I'm not entirely sure if you all have heard of this story before. The Miz shared a locker room story between him and Benoit. So here we go. I'm reading this right here. The Miz's struggles. This entire paragraph. The Miz's locker room struggles from banishment to redemption by The Undertaker. The Miz has had his fair share of experiences with controversy and heat, especially during his early days in WWE. It wasn't the kind of attention he would have preferred in his early days in WWE. The Miz was banished from the locker room, changing in the hallways for months after an incident from where he allegedly spilled some chicken crumbs over Scott Hall's. Wow, Scott Hall is insane. Scott Armstrong travel bag. It did lead to his expulsion by none other than Chris Benoit from the WWE locker room for 6 months. The Miz's former tag team partner John Morrison reflected on these times in the trailer, another show which I don't care about. Morrison learned that 6 to 8 months after the Benoit tragedy, Miz continued changing in the hall. The unwritten rule required the person who banished you to extend the invitation to return, putting the Miz in a dilemma. So this is Miz's story. This is basically Miz's story about how Benoit treated him. And I don't believe many other stories came out with other wrestlers between Benoit. Benoit and other wrestlers, but Miz's story is probably, the most well known because he's shared this himself. Man, I mean, if you really think about it, like, was Benoit really going through this? Like, was Benoit always this type of person in the locker room? If so, like, could the Benoit tragedy, could that have been stopped if somebody were to catch on, if somebody caught on to the activities that Benoit was doing? Maybe. But, A lot of guys said that Benoit was very, very, professional, very, very quiet. He stayed to himself in the locker room. He had his friends and everything, guys like Eddie Guerrero, guys like Chavo, guys like Chris Jericho, and many others. But man, it really sucks, man, because outside the ring, for the majority part, before the tragedy struck, Benoit was a family man, devoted to his wife, Nancy, and his kids. But beneath all of that facade, the facade and everything, this was a guy that was suffering from severe brain damage, which is also known as CTE. That's a condition. CTEs in athletes, that took a lot of damage over their years, of competing, which is, I think it's similar to like Alzheimer's and shit. It's not something you want to have, but when Benoit's brain was examined, which a lot of you all's brains need to be examined after the comments that I've been reading in the comment section. There's a lot of haters out there, but I digress. I just want to get that joke in there because, I'm an asshole sometimes. But when his brain was examined, they said he had a brain that resembled that of an 85-year-old Alzheimer patient. I believe that this was just a guy who just lost control of himself. Didn't know what to do, and he was on the deep end. Let's look at it. He lost his friend a couple of years before in Eddie. Rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero. And he's lost many other people in the wrestling business that was close to him. It's just like, bro, you cannot justify what Chris Benoit did to his family, and you really can't. Like, it really sucks, bro. It really, really sucks, because if you know that you're going through these things, why would you take out your family in the process? Like, why not just, and I hate to say this, I hope, you people don't take this the wrong way. If Benoit was just so damaged and so, fucked up in the head, why didn't he just take himself? And I did not want to really say that, but it's like, first off, the tragedy should not have happened in the first place. It shouldn't have happened at all. Benoit should still be here. His family should still be here. They should still be living happily ever after. But he's done what he's done, and it cannot be rewritten. But like, why take your family out with you? Your little son. Like, I really don't get it, bro. I really don't get it. Like, I feel, because, like, bro, you have, like, I know that he's lost Eddie and that was one of his best friends, probably his best friend. But like, was there not anyone that you could have talked to? Like, nobody. Like, and this topic really, really, it triggers me sometimes, because like, bro, I remember watching Benoit. I literally remember watching Chris Benoit, bro. I was a fan of Chris Benoit. He, he wasn't too flashy. He didn't really do a lot of talking. He kicked the ass. But, and I vividly remember seeing all of this shit happening in the news. When this happened, I was born in 2002, so this happened in 2007. I was 5 years old. I vividly remember this on TV. I didn't really understand what was happening at all till years later after I've done my research and everything. But yeah, man, it is one of wrestling's darkest moments. I think it is wrestling's darkest moment of all time. Like, this changed so much in wrestling, because if you don't remember, you know what I'm saying, wrestling had to change. WWE had to change after this, man. They had to really crack down, and we transitioned into the PG era and all of this other stuff. And Benoit will always go down as one of the most controversial stars in wrestling ever, bro, ever. Because, man, I always, like, sometimes I think when I hear Benoit's name, I just be like, man, like, what would Benoit be doing right now if he did not do what he did? You know, what would Benoit be doing in the wrestling business? I can honestly see Benoit as like a coach right now, or you know, retired, because there were so many matches that was left off the table. Even, you know what I'm saying, the night that he, you know what I'm saying, didn't show up. I forgot what event that was. I forgot what event. I'm about to look this up right now. What was that event that he was supposed to face CM Punk? But he never showed up. I feel like it was like One Night Stand. Was it One Night Stand or something like that? No, it was not One Night Stand. God. Vengeance. It was Vengeance. Yeah. Vengeance 2007. Yeah, I always wonder, like, what type of matches could Benoit have if he was still around, or, you know what I'm saying, if he never done what he did. Like, there are matches, even CM Punk versus Benoit was a match I was, you know what I'm saying, that could have been a fucking barn burner. Benoit versus guys like, you know what I'm saying, Batista. I'm just thinking of guys around that era that came around. Benoit versus Cena. I'm talking like prime Cena. Like, I don't know if we got that match at all. But like, yeah, man, so many fucking matches Chris Benoit could have had, and so many more accomplishments that Benoit could have accomplished if he never done what he's done. So, was Chris Benoit always evil, or was he a victim of the same intensity that made him a wrestling legend? I don't know, man. I don't know. The truth might be somewhere in between, but one thing's for sure. His story is a tragic reminder of the hidden cost of a sport driven by violence. And that's all for this video today, folks. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, I got more coming.